Hey everyone, you're here with Mark Batwell at Perfect Gardens. So today I'm going to be talking to you about strategically planning out your garden. I have found over the years the difference between a beginner gardener and an experienced gardener. Really the main difference is just having that experience to know where plants go and how big they grow, how much space are they going to take up, what other plants should be grown together, and really just utilizing your entire garden. So what I mean by that is getting inventory of everything you have on hand. Not just understanding your pots, but really be getting creative. Just the other day I made my own planter beds, not because I wanted to grow baby carrots, which I wanted to grow baby carrots, but because I actually needed an anchor for my homemade greenhouse I put right on my patio. So right there, by being able to have an idea on what type of wood I have on hand. Just about 2-3 weeks ago, I cleaned out the garden and I figured out how many grow bags I had. I ended up realizing I had about 37-gallon grow bags. In addition to that, I had about 16 or 17 5-gallon buckets, similar to the ones you get over at Home Depot. I actually get the nice buckets. I get ones that are white because over the years I've realized how much the sun cooks the plastic. It's actually really funny because all the pot manufacturers make pots out of black, but black attracts heat and ends up frying the roots. And I understand probably why they did it. They made black pots because they wanted to heat the roots because it's winter time. Although because of the industrialized farming, we've gotten used to just keep using the same old thing. So in a sense, instead of changing the color of the pot and improving the gardening situation, we've just make more black pots. Anyways, my point to this is that I discovered I had all these grow bags. I had all these poles, I had additional Solex, I ended up having all these channels. So lo and behold, I made a secondary greenhouse. I also discovered I had hydroponic systems that are wonderful for growing herbs and small root systems. And I also realized that I had a lot of additional soil in my grow bed. With all these grow bags and all these additional buckets, I could probably expand out my greenhouse with the additional Solex and greenhouse material I had on hand. So that's what I did. In addition to that, on planning out my garden, I took into consideration what plants grow well together. And I started to formulate a strategy of how to grow plants together with the equipment I had. In addition to that, because I have experience in my garden, I know where water kind of pools up. It's really interesting. In one specific area, actually right where I put my grow bed, a lot of water pools up, and at the end of the year when it begins to drop off in temperature, mold begins to set in my greenhouse fairly quickly. So I was like, okay, it's not just about expanding the real estate and growing more plants and growing more vegetative growth, but it's also about taking into consideration that I had a lot of additional soil. I could expand out my garden, I could grow more plants, and because the water pools up where my grow bed's at on the first greenhouse, there's a lot of crops that will be quite difficult to grow because of mold and other pest issues. And so there's about 2 days of thinking behind this entire process, where I also took into consideration harvest times. I have plants that are going to be ready to harvest within 7 to 10 days, mixed greens, baby greens, stuff like that. And I have herbs and vegetables that are going to take over 100 to 110 to 115 days to finish. And then I have specialty crop like my cannabis crop, which is actually kind of really funny. Growing cannabis indoors has gotten me incredibly proficient at utilizing my real estate in my grow room. When you grow fruits and vegetables, you might not really care if you're properly utilizing your space because you're growing something that's saving you a few dollars. Although when you're growing cannabis and you grow it more proficiently and you're able to to maybe get an extra half a pound in an extra square foot of space, well, you just made an additional $1,000. And over the years of really taking into consideration my ROI and maxing that whole process out, I began to look at other ways of utilizing space in my garden and not being complacent to that. Because of that training and experience, and because of my father's always been great at teaching me these things, I was able to use that experience to figure out what I wanted to grow this year and what grew well and how to put certain things together. And in the next few videos, I'm actually going to be showing you complementary gardening. I'm going to be showing you what grows well with potatoes. I'm going to be showing you what grows well with tomatoes, what grows well with carrots, what grows well with squash. I'm going to be actually showing you a series of different things that will be able to utilize your space and make you think different on how to grow more food in a small amount of area. Please check out those videos and make sure to like, share, and subscribe.